Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Hordes of Fate. It is, well, it's another Bullet Heaven, but this time it's made by the Hand of Fate developers, which I was not expecting because they more or less shut down a couple years ago, but I guess they're back with a new game. And this time it's a Bullet Heaven heavily inspired by Hand of Fate, of course. So it looks like we have, separate decks that we can play around with. These are the different playable characters. I'm curious if we can actually do some deck building. Probably not. At least not too much. It also looks like we have some degree of meta progression. Curious what the upper limit is. Alright, well, one way or another, let's just dive in and see how it goes. So, Goblin King adventure begins. Descend deep into the Forgotten Caves and seek out the one who calls themselves King. So, might as well mention that the demo is... This is currently in demo form and is not actually fully out, so expect some bugs, some lacking content, so on and so forth. Okay, and easier difficulty, and we're playing Trickster. The max life 150, critical damage 200%, speed plus 10%. Ah, so loadout. So we can choose Goblin King Apprentice. Okay, so I guess we have a spellbook and gloves of shielding. Doesn't look like I get choices on those. I've always loved the aesthetic of the cards for Hand of Fate. They worked really well. Ah, it looks like they're reusing certain things too. So encounter for the timeline. So we can get an enchantment, a resource of our choice, max life for healing. Let's go for an enchantment and see what we get.
Welcome to a twist on the game of life and death. All things change in time.
Scroll of Swiftness. Okay, so big ups immediately. Actually, one thing I want to check. Yeah, resolution. I don't know why that's not at 100%. Display. Yeah, I think it was just the resolution being not quite at 100%. Yeah, it just was lacking a little bit of crispness. You take the scroll, crack the seal, and unfurl it. The parchment has a short incantation that you read aloud. My actions are without effort. Without delay, I strike. Bestow these powers onto gloves of shielding, the spellbook, or myself. Let's do the spellbook. So we get an uncommon spellbook upgrade.
A treasure chest. What more iconic emblem of success could we imagine?
So increased rare equipment damage by 15%. Sure. Or magical equipment damage by 15%. Also, it's not a Wanderbot video with me without me tweaking a bunch of settings a bunch. Is just what it is. Oh, there we go. That should be a little bit better. Let that chest open. Yeah, so I was going to say big up here immediately. We actually have stuff to go hunt down and look for. Let's see. Projectile equipment damage, spellbook cooldown, or gloves of shielding duration. I think I'm just going to go for the spellbook cooldown more than anything else. Right now we see
what it contains.
You know what? I guess I will pop this open just in case it gives me some max HP. Ooh, and it's telling me to go south. Okay, can't pick those up. Ow.
Do what you can to find more food.
So, we want to open 2 gold chests, draw out the undead champion, and of course, wait things out. I'm seeing a blue diamond over here. But yeah, a lot of Bullet Heavens kind of get boring. There's not a whole lot going on.
Here is a man with a particular set of powers turned to mere trade.
You enter the workshop of...
Bending the powers of the universe to his will, and instead, he serves you.
You enter the workshop of young enchanter who is said to specialize in drawing magical powers from items. Welcome, the mage says, glancing up from his books in murmured incantations. It's true, I can enchant items, but I'm still a student, not yet able to draw power from all things freely. Show me your gear, and I'll see what calls to me. Ask about enchantments. Every object holds an innate energy, unique power of its own, not one learned through practice, nor earned through wisdom or age. But if you listen closely, you can hear it. And through the art of enchantment, I can realize the hidden power. Okay. So, follow the cards, make your selection. I see. Nope, failure. Damn. So we still get a common upgrade. Just not a very good one. Well, that's still very Hand of Fate. Increase move speed by 9%. I'll take it. You know what? I'm just going to do shielding. Yeah, unfortunately, my cooldown on spellbook is a little
finally usher the undead into true death.
Rough. Okay. Caught within a dense thicket of brambles, you spy a gilded horn. Long forgotten, the instrument is bound tightly by the plant's thorn branches. Attempt to free the horn. Okay, that's not great. Well, luckily the one I'm going for was just on top. To gather all experience. Oh, well, that's nice. Okay, and then we've got a mess. Choose equipment. Dragon armor. Leave a trail of fire as you move. Inflicts fire damage. Fire armor, area lasting. Frost thrown explosive, lasting area. Or lightning artifact. This one at least has 2 synergies with the gloves of shielding, so we're just going to go for that.
See you turning your back on gold.
Plus it's... Oh, it's not consistent. It has a cooldown. Okay, well that's fine. We're just going to run around for a little bit grabbing treasure. Grabbing experience isn't a bad idea, but...
A treasure chest. Innocently left in a completely safe environment, I'm sure.
Let's see, and there's something here. Chest of shards. They were just going to run around grabbing whatever. I don't really have much of a specific plan. Apart from get as strong as I possibly can before the boss shows up, which is apparently soon. I was not expecting it to be this zippy, but hey, here we are. Maybe there's another act to this.
Granted, we would not be here, you and I.
You happen upon an old wishing well. Shiny coins gleam below the surface of the water. Etched on a stone on the side reads, a note. Be careful what you wish for. Throw some coins into the well. 10 gold. I think it's this one? Nah, failure. At least we get experience for it. Like, let's see. So, armor, dragon armor damaged by 10%. Let's just go for the experience gain.
A wise decision.
I don't actually know if that's particularly good here, but eh. Okay, we maybe want to kill this guy with a big health bar. Unless that is the undead champion.
Extra health.
Nope.
But it is only a momentary respite.
Okay, so this might actually be a little bad.
Deal with them if you will.
Okay, more hordes added. A tiny band of gnomes burst out, surrounding you as you pocket the coins from the chest. That elf's open it! One squeaks. We can claim the trinket now, cries another. You glance back into the chest, and sure enough, the small wooden idol rests within. Place it on the ground before the gathering crowd. Think it's this one? Success, not a huge success. A brave gnome snatches the idol and darts back to the others. They huddle, inspecting it closely before nodding in agreement. The group forms a circle around you, performing a lively dance before they vanish just as swiftly as they appeared. Sense new energy emanating from your equipment. So we can get to achieve one of 2 enhancements. So spellbook spell count by 2 but reduce damage, or spellbook each spellbook spell is explosive for half damage, reduce count by 1, increase damage by 100%. I'm going to try devastation. Okay. Let's see, spell equipment, or a spell cooldown by a bit, dragon armor potency by 35%, or luck. I'm going to try luck, but I don't know what that factors into. Lionheart. Okay, we get Lionheart.
Symbol of purity, nobility, and truth.
You stumble upon a small glass bottle on the ground in front of you. Drink it, drink it. Uncommon max life upgrade. I mean, it's only 20 HP, but I'll still take it.
Draws the eye and the hands.
Okay, enemies are getting stronger, but the champion's almost dead. Escape through the portal. But first, health.
Step through, if you dare.
Okay. Step through the portal, and we get 2 rewards. Some shards for meta progression. Gold, crit chance by 3%. What do we spend food on? I have no idea. I'm gonna go for the shards, and I'm gonna go for the food. Okay, there is more to this. Perfect. Okay, so gain a resource of your choice. Epic. Sure. The enchantment would have been nice.
Upon everything here. We understand that, you and I.
Okay. Grab this. Want to grab the shards. Okay, this is really good. At least as far as its like core ideation. It's very clear whoever made this learned from other bullet heavens, or at least knows what they're doing. Goblin Banquet. I mean, sure, we might as well trigger this event.
gather yourself before you travel further.
Okay. From nowhere, a goblin appears besides an abandoned campfire, and the world around you slows to a stop. Creature smiles. Welcome, traveler. Dangerous lands, these. Spare a bit of food for my pot, and we'll share a meal together. Let's just eat 10 food. You share your meal with the goblin and feel somewhat refreshed. Now be off with you, the goblin laughs and disappears. Okay. I was kind of hoping there would be, like, a bonus if you were full. You know, just give the dude some food. Alas. Not the case. Goblin Bridge. Oh, that's fun. So we can actually activate these. Ow. Well, on the flip side. Maybe that was worth it. Okay. Increases dragon armor damage, armor equipment cooldown. Like, stripes. Okay. The maiden's on the ground, finally. Yeah, I want to go get that experience, but we have other things I want to grab. And we don't have that much time, either. Okay, so that was just a boatload of food. Okay, spellbook area.
A wise decision.
Okay, shield actually worked that time. I think there's a little bit of a charge up to it.
You do as you see fit.
Okay, max life by 35? Tempting. Sure. Let's go get the maiden done. Because, yeah, we don't have that much time. We are also kind of nuking things, which is kind of good bad.
Will you be the one to finally usher the undead into true death?
I am Marith, of the Forest Folk. My people have long helped the mortals of this realm. What boon would you ask of me? Longer life, supplies, gold, wisdom, or blessed? Gain a blessing. Goblin thieves drop a gather horn when defeated. Okay, dragon armor damage, yeah. The shielding gloves might not be a bad idea either. But one way or another, I'm gonna be back for that. Because we want to snag Fae. Probably open this up. If I could increase my activation speed on things, that would be incredible.
Now the tables have turned and you, the hunter, becomes the prey.
Okay, Heart of the North. Do not know what this does. Okay. Seated upon a throne of wicker thorns is a shaman of the north. Straw-plated charms and oddities hang about her. You're not the one who defeated me, she hisses from beneath her cowl. With a flick of her hand, you're swallowed by a sudden blizzard of snow and ice. Brace yourself. Well, it's nice when the successes are on top, because it makes it very easy. Okay, dragon armor damage. Your
decision.
Black cauldron and a treasure chest. Good stuff. A well-dressed man in a thick cloak slumps down at your table in the dimly lit tavern. So old Roger's finally gone then, eh? I guess this is yours then. He slides an apothecary jar of crimson salts across to you. A spellbind. Add it to any spell and you'll be thankful for it. Accept the wager. Chance for an enchantment. Ooh. Upgrade or one of these. Let's go for that. Oh, there's more dialogue for that. You play into the night, the game nearing its end. With nearly 2 score points against you, you decide to risk casting a spell to sway the outcome of the final roll. Huge success.
The win here sets the tone for your challenge.
Okay, choose one of 2. We also get a token. So, and you win. The man slumps back in his stool, scowling. Rare indeed is the time I'm cheated at dice without spotting the trick. But even in my stupor, I know when I've been bested. He rises unsteadily, handing you a small parcel wrapped in parchment. This is meant for another, but I suspect you'll make use of it. Spellbook. So increase spellbook damage by 300%. Explosive now does full damage, but projectile count reduced by 1 or fire. More power. More hordes added.
If you gain health, then I work harder to take it.
Okay. We don't need this too bad.
Spirits roaming the darkness. With the struggles, the boundaries are weaker than they've ever been. You would
Alright.
be better to avoid the Fae. It is not my place to tell you what to do, however. The game will determine that.
You cup the last fairy in your hands and peer within. Release me and I shall enchant your gear to aid your quest. I think it was here? Success. Get an enchantment. So we can do fire or spellbook cooldown by 50%. Oh baby, here we go. Okay. So we can do lightning crash, we can do cold snap, or death rangs. Cold snap. Then I'm gonna shield up to get through these guys because holy smokes, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, cold snap potency, max life, cold snap crit. Let's just do potency. So the thing is, I don't care too deeply about the damage I'm taking here. Namely, I'm not taking much damage. Enemy grows stronger, but that's not really a concern. Yeah, go through the portal. I think we've functionally got everything we want. A little bit of movement speed might not be a bad idea. And luck? Spellbook area, interact speed. Ah, damn.
A wise decision. Step through.
Might as well enter the portal, no reason to rush. So, healing whenever you gain gold. Yersh. And we have a lot of food. I'll just get some shards. I really like this format. I loved the idea of Hand of Fate, but I found it kind of a frustrating game. Resource of your choice, gain an enchantment. Let's go for the enchantment this time around.
So much death here. It leaves behind so much that is tainted and unclean.
That I found its combat system to be slightly annoying. Just a little too finicky and just a little bit too merciless for my tastes. That it was not uncommon to get, you know, to like hit the parry button and get smacked for it, even if you like you timed it almost perfectly. You know, there was no good.
Be the one to finally usher the undead into true death.
There's no good wiggle room. I guess this may be kind of the issue.
Every tool a mage can create may be used against them.
Okay. I'm gonna keep doing spellbook cooldown reduction. Because I only get one shot. I want it to be big. Okay. Frost damage, luck, or defense. Luck. I think luck just determines rarities. Come on. I guess there is a healing chest over here, but it's kind of unfortunate when the event is directly... my goal is directly next to...
A game. The surprise attack. The novelty must wear thin on subsequent travels.
Okay.
A
Grab
magician
these.
still operating in these lands. A brave decision, and one I hope keeps him in good health.
This one? Spellbook. Okay, token 1. Spellbook area further. Okay.
You'd be the one to finally usher the undead into true death.
Tank them out. Defense? Yeah, sure, I'll grab 9 defense. I don't know how defense exactly works here. Sometimes it's a percentile reduction, sometimes it's a flat. I'm usually more of a fan of flat reduction, but I don't know. There's no map, so I'm just gonna have to wander around. I only fire one of these nukes at a time, but ye gods, it works.
Will you be the one to finally
Okay,
usher
more
the undead
hordes.
into true death?
Oh, didn't take him out. Okay, spell equipment cooldown.
Wise
Boy.
decision.
Dark offering and a chest of shards. Okay, lose health for 6 gold. let's do it. Okay, we get enchantments. Move speed while Gloves of Shielding is active. Yo. Alright, I'm just gonna be here. Yeah, so now we have a sprint, which is very nice. I was hoping that would give me some healing, but alas. Okay, Gloves of Shielding duration. The 9% move speed also would have been good, but alas. And it's okay. Chieftain's about to show up, and it doesn't matter if we don't get that objective.
We were not going to reach this point without creating some powerful enemies. It seems they have become aware of your presence.
Okay, got it. So, put the spell, flames on the spellbook. This one? Huge success.
Well done.
1 of 3 enchantments. Fire, crit damage, or just damage. I'm just gonna go for the flat damage. Let's see. Crit chance by 6%. Goblin Chieftains going down, just not the fastest. Yeah, the problem is my pickup radius is abysmal. But my move speed is extremely good. I could also use gold to re-roll things. All equipment damage. Yersh. But yeah, I wish I had a little bit more pickup. Hopefully that's something I can invest meta progression into. Holy smokes, I do a lot of damage. Okay. Lightning Artifacts, Death Harangues, or Cardinal Blade. Physical damage, lightning... None of these are particularly good. I wish I could re-roll them. I guess I'll grab the Cardinal Blade. Ow. Okay, we don't have any more Braziers to light, but we do have a Wisdom's Call. Yeah, the goal here is to just avoid killing the boss. Okay, caught within the dense thicket of brambles, you spy a gilded horn. Long forgotten, the instrument is bound tightly by the plant's thorn branches. Use dragon armor to burn the brambles. And literally, as long as it's not the top one. Gather all experience. Yersh! Okay, I can re-roll these. Interact speed by 5%. It's not amazing. But I will take it. Alright, portal. Enter the portal.
A thing that cannot be, yet is.
This is just not okay. I'm gonna go for a little bit of HP, actually. Dude, my cooldown on my freaking nuke spell has gotta be nuts. I wonder how long these runs are. Resource of your choice, max life or healing, gain an enchantment. Let's reroll. Yarsh.
The stench of death is upon everything here.
Okay. I don't know if I need food.
That, you and I.
I'll go Dragon Armor Potency, even if I'm not really speccing for it. But yeah, my cooldowns are so fast at this point that... Yeah, we should be able to just, like, uber nuke things down into oblivion. Alright, so we get Lionheart again. I'm not going to be able to get as much experience here, but I think that's okay.
The lion is a symbol
Drink
of
it.
purity, nobility, and truth.
Heart of the North again. Hopefully they have more events so we don't see duplicates like this. But I guess it's okay.
The undead into true death.
Okay, so we can use Cold Snap to get out of her this time around. Well, it's nice when the huge success just goes right on top. Bigger boom Cold Snap upgrade. Nice, I'll take those. And yeah, we're saving the Fae again, but I'm fine with that. Right, I should probably be using my shield to go wicked quick. Because it's a 50% movement speed bonus whenever I trigger it. Game is kind of a cacophony. Because yeah, we have narration, we have random sound effects, we have more random sound effects. It Just every once in a while something goes boo, and I do not know why.
Will you be the one to finally usher the undead into true death?
Yeah, it hurts a bit. Dragon armor crit damage. Yeah, the problem is I'm not investing into crit. Okay, let's not be there. Greed is good, but not that good. Looks like we're fighting the Goblin Chieftain again.
Every game must include an element of surprise.
Yeah, hopefully they just poured over most of the assets. Let's see, offer half your food.
Or the roll of a dice. Without it, the game is nothing but a computer
failure.
machine.
Blessing failed. Blessing would have been nice. Alas, but it's okay.
Will you be the one to finally usher the undead into...
Boy, it is just chucking hordes at me. On the plus side, get absolutely nuked. Okay, I can re-roll these. Fire damage potency.
Very nice indeed.
Okay. Experience gain? Nah. Max life by 70. Yersh. Wait. Okay, we also get a Trial of Fortitude. Crit damage by 25%. Unfortunately, I don't think my crit chance is particularly good. Okay. Before you, a vision of a mighty ogre appears. It strides forward with its club held high. It prepares to strike. Attack with the Cardinal Blade. You lunge forward, Cardinal Blade in hand. As your blow lands, a brilliant flash erupts. The ogre vanishes, gone without a trace. Cardinal Blade upgrade. Slightly unfortunate, since that's not one of the ones I wanted to invest into. But that's okay. Alright. Get the last berry.
You would be better to avoid the Fae. It is not my place to tell you what to do, however.
This one? Huge success.
Will determine that.
More spellbook. Let's do fire now. Okay, just get distracted by other things so I can hit the Mage's Workshop. Because I don't want to kill him. Cardinal Blade piercing by 3, sure. Ooh, Cold Snap works on bosses? That's nice.
Here is a man with a particular set of powers turned to mere trade.
Legendary enchantment on spellbook. Reduce cooldown further.
Serves you.
Get yote. I'm so glad I can just go all in on one spell here. Is it kosher? No. You know, I'm very much a very limited one-trick pony. But I'll still take it. Alright, let's snag all the experience in the area. We don't have much to worry about.
Step through.
So how long do we go for? I have no clue. Okay, these are all pretty bad. Spellbook damage by 15%, I'll take it. The shards might have actually been a good idea too. Yeah, normally there's kind of like an act structure, but this might just be somewhat infinite. I have no idea. Let's go max life or healing just because it seems like any of the ones above a certain rarity tend to be pretty good. Yeah, I'd really appreciate getting some upgrades on interact speed. But we're just gonna have to wait for that. Gotta go fast. That's a health chest. We don't need those. There we go. A big benefit here is I can just largely delete things. And yeah, let's try and keep an eye out for more treasure goblins, because they come with magnets.
Will you be the one to finally usher the undead into true death?
Okay, we have 2 braziers over here, which is very good. 3, in fact. Can I actually stand here? 70% max life? Yes. Okay, hate to do it. These sound effects need to go down even further. The bigger my boom, the bigger that sound effect. Alright, more fire! Huge success. Please be on top.
That will set you in good stead from here.
Area, crit damage, damage. Is there a way I can check my stats? Yes, crit chance is 11%. Area is not bad, but I think we're just going to go for flat damage. And I'm not hurt in the slightest.
Will you be the one to finally usher the undead
I
into
do not
true
like
death?
the... Ooh, absorb additional attacks. Glove of Shielding is active. Increase the duration. No, we're going crit chance. Yeah, I don't actually like the fact that the voice lines keep repeating. I wish I could control that a little bit. I don't mind a somewhat chatty narrator, but with that one...
in the trap once, you may blame error. To fall in the same trap again smacks of foolishness.
It pops up over and over and over again in a slightly annoying way.
If wishes were truly granted, we would not be here, you and I.
Nah, just a success. Let's see. Thrown equipment damage, max life. I can re-roll these. All equipment cooldown. Cardinal Blade piercing. Let's just do all equipment cooldown by 10%. And I should keep an eye out if there's a treasure goblin anywhere nearby.
Will you be the one to finally usher the undead into true death?
There we go.
Pray if you must.
Pray for a blessing.
Receive better results from them than I have in turn.
Huge success. Gained a blessing. Enemies have a chance to drop gold when defeated. Oh boy. Well, that means I can probably re-roll more. Go for some more crit damage. Lasting equipment damage. Magical equipment damage. Armor equipment cooldown.
Very nice indeed. A moment to rest and recover your strength.
Sure, let's give him a bunch of food and we get an enchantment. Dragon armor duration by 100%. I'm not really using it too actively, but I'm not going to say no to it. Cold snap area, sure. I'll start investing in some of the other ones just because. Crit chance by 12%. Oh, here we go.
You have made bitter enemies.
Let's see, defeat the Goblin King again.
Stop you now.
That's okay.
One step closer, and you will reach my threshold.
Get a bunch of gold,
Goblins.
get a bunch more
I
gold.
do love goblins. Truly, I haven't seen their like in years. Excellent.
Okay. Let's go for some max life. Gonna just swing over here, see if there's anything else. Mostly hope for a loot goblin more than anything else, but enemies grow stronger. That isn't a concern for me. Okay, it looks like there's some stuff down here. Food.
Funny
Which
little
we need more of.
fellows.
I can take the hit.
If you're strong of spirit, you'll find this a boon. If not, well,
Gain healing. Another goblin bridge. We mostly want to just scoot past. Unfortunately,
The
my...
goblins now have the resources to field their own combatants.
My shields don't
Step
block
through.
too much. Let's turn back for a hot
If
second.
you dare.
We don't want to do too much. We just want to grab all of the experience in this immediate area.
Worlds. A thing that cannot be, yet is.
Okay, that should be good enough.
Step
I could maybe
through.
farm here a little bit longer, but I don't think we need it. Ooh. Finding the maiden, we receive trap treasure. Oh, so is that the end of the run? So these are new things that we've unlocked for future runs. Both upgrades and events and whatnot. So we get Adventurer and Skeleton King's Shield. Well, that was fun. Let's see. Yeah, Spellbook just kind of overshadowed everything. But that doesn't surprise me. Alright, let's take a look at our upgrades. Cooldown Luck. Luck is great. We want that. Damage, crit chance, potency, gather range. It's only 5% though. I think I'll keep going for luck. Gather range is going to be extremely good though. I could also reset, but I don't think I'd be able to get more. Yeah, I just want to max those out. So Dex. Oh, I see. So different characters will let me play or have different events, maybe. Alright. So it looks like, yeah, the other ones are locked, so we can do Goblin King again. But on a harder difficulty. Sure. Yeah, the one thing I wish I could do is actually change my loadout. That's the one thing that I think is going to hold this demo back a little bit. I don't know. I feel like... I don't know. Demos are tricky. Max life, resource of your choice, or gold. Let's just go for the trap treasure since we haven't seen that one before. Let's see. What was I going to say? I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that could bring up on this one. It's one of those where I feel like this game would actually be benefited by a substantive demo that just like really lets you sink your teeth into it rather than something minor. Gloves of shielding, armor, equipment, spellbook damage. Let's just go for the cooldown for armor rather than a specific thing. And we need a lot of gold if I want to actually get that wishing well to pay out well. I think at the moment I'm mostly just going to focus on running around grabbing what I can. If we can get anything that increases spellbook crit damage, sure. Anything that increases my activation speed, if I can get that this time around, that might be nice. We didn't need it like super duper bad the last time. Oh. Abandoned gnomes again. This one, success. Well, are we doing this again? Yeah. It's a bit tacky, but like the alternative was boring. Spellbook damage. Not even a question. I don't know if I'm going to invest further into explosive this time around. I'd like to go for more projectiles if it lets me, but I don't know if it will. But yeah, our goal at the moment is just to get every treasure chest and whatnot. Leveling kind of just happens naturally without too much fuss. What do we have back here? But what we definitely want is just large quantities of shards. Ooh. It's actually a bunch of badniks here. And a lot of events over this direction. Okay, more hordes coming. Yeah, if you notice, I've turned off the voice acting. So, I tried Cold Snap. It was good. Sure. But I think I might try the lightning this time around. Okay, drink the bottle. Get some max HP. You can actually dodge enemy attacks. I'm going to invest in Cold Snap, I think, this time around, if I can manage it. Okay. Attempt to free the horn. Huge failure. Uh-oh. Oh, you know, that's actually not that bad. Would have been nice to get the horn, but oh well. Doesn't matter that much. Let's just run over here. Does this give me another treasure chest? Absolutely. Lasting equipment duration by 20%. Spellbook crit damage. I mean, I guess we'll grab the duration. The problem is I don't think that affects how many hits it can take. So that limits it somewhat. I love the skeletons put it down and then like turn around as though it, you know, it's not going to blow up and destroy them. You know, they're like covering their non-existent ears. Funny. I turned off the voice acting because it was getting a little repetitive. What I'd really love to see with this game is just them really, let's see. Uncover the chest, take the ruby instead. Take the ruby instead. Should have gone for the chest. Oh well. Cold snap potency by 100%. I don't know what potency does. Mechanically. Okay, we do have the wishing well. I might actually have enough money. That I can use it. Let's throw some coins in the well. 40 gold coins. This one? Huge success. Oh, so we get some extra upgrades as well. Gloves of shielding knockback. I guess I'll just go for that. Cold snap slits into 3 smaller bombs. Yersh. Cold snap potency by 35%. It does do damage, right? I think it does. It's certainly effective at slowing everything down. Okay, he's toast. Now I'm just gonna hang out here for a hot second. Get a little bit of health. I don't think we need too much. Okay, let's turn back for a moment. Crit chance by 9%. Okay, that's probably good enough. I could do more, but eh. What I need is more luck. Nah. 5 shards. And I'll take the 20 max life. Gain an enchantment. Alright. And also get the fairies. Yeah, I think this is kind of the best of everything I liked about Hand of Fate without the stuff I didn't like. The one thing I would say is I actually really wish they'd just go back and lean into the old structure. Like, literally, I think the best, an even better incarnation of this, if I want to be presumptuous, would be to say, hey, but what if it was just the whole Hand of Fate structure, level, exploration, everything, but instead of the, like, kind of classic pseudo-Batman combat style, it's just this. I think that would be maybe a little bit more interesting, just because this really reminds me of that Pathfinder Bullet Heaven that was kind of ho-hum. Not strictly bad, just not very exciting. Okay. Accept the wager for this. Huge success. This one? Success. Gain an enchantment. Auto gather experience. Drop from enemies with this. Oh, that's extremely good. Okay, increase gather range by 15%. That's extremely good too. Area equipment size by 4%. Grab the rest of these. Yeah, the bigger pickup radius is good. Projectile equipment damage, thrown equipment cooldown. I guess I'm going to go for this since I know it auto-collects experience for me, and that's very good. And I want to kill the loot goblin. before we do anything else. There we go. Okay, these are all terrible. This is not great either, but I'll at least manage. I don't want to spend too much gold re-rolling things. What I really want is a couple of luck upgrades if I can get them. I don't know, actually. I don't know if it would be better. I think it's mostly just we've been in the caves for so long. Okay, show the major equipment. We want to do... I think this is spellbook again. That's okay. Spellbook cooldown, spellbook area, more explosive. Let's just do cooldown. And I most assuredly do not have enough food to get the good stuff off of that guy. But that's okay. Okay. And now I've really got a boogie. Because the boss will be spawning soon. I only need 2 more Fae, though. So that shouldn't take too long. Goes over here. Treasure chest. I'll take it. Max life, spellbook area, all equipment cooldown. I'll take a little bit of max life. Not much, just an amount. Okay. I only need 2 more fairies. Defeat the undead spirit. Shields up. I do appreciate that you can juke enemies here. That actually feels quite good. Alright, we've got our Fae. Success. Spellbook area, yeah. I really want to invest in Cold Snap, but alas. Game really doesn't want me to be able to. Okay, I'm gonna do the Death Rangs. Oh, let's go with the Death Rangs. They're a throwing weapon. Let's see what else we got. We don't have enough food. I could heal with the Goblin, but I'm not going to be able to benefit from it. Cold Snap Potency. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of upgrades for Cold Snap damage. So potency might be all I get in that regard. So be it, I suppose. And yeah, I can kill a couple of these guys before we go. Gather range by 30%. Set that off. Okay, 8 seconds. Definitely pushing it here. There we go. 2 seconds. Let's go. 150 healing. Not really that good. 40 max life and cold snap damage? No, I should be going for shards. Enchantment. Yeah. Not a very high quality one, but that's okay. Like, ultimately, most of this doesn't strictly matter. Once again, it's a demo. Chances are I'm not going to be... Ooh, like 5 braziers. Oof. You know, I'm not going to be returning to this until the game actually comes out. Hopefully meta progression carries over, just because. But if it doesn't... See, Cold Snap Potency? No. Like, I want to invest in it, but we're just not getting enough goodies for that. So I'll just make do without, kind of, sort of. Okay, set some of these off. A little bit of regeneration actually wouldn't have been a terrible idea either. Alright, looks like the enchanter's up and in a good spot. So we're good to go. Okay. Death Rang's crit damage. All equipment cooldown by 6%. Doesn't feel great, but I don't have better alternatives. I mean, yeah, I could waste money on rerolls, but I want to make sure I generally have at least 40. Holy smokes, this Ghost Parade. Okay. So... Cold Snap. What do we get? Cold Snap area? Area. Unfortunately, it does kind of feel like the somewhat ideal strategy in this game is largely to invest hard in one ability and really just crank it up to the point of absurdity. I don't necessarily hate that, but it does feel very, experience gain? Sure. Maybe overly focused. Okay, Dark Offering. Okay, cannot actually max that out. Note to self, next time there's a Dark Offering, come back when I'm at full health. That's okay, I can buy some upgrades. So do we want the Gathering range? No, actually we want to reset? Reset. Reset. Because we really want that luck. And a little gather range. And it seems like, I mean, the price scales up, but so does the effect. Okay, we'll do one more. Adventure is a little tougher. I think the real answer is Cold Snap just doesn't have the oomph that I need. Go for the Mage's Workshop, even if it's not amazing. I do hope there are other upgrade paths for the spellbook and we're just weirdly unlucky. Right. I should follow a general path here. If only because as much as I like the explosives, I do kind of wish I could just chain gun a bunch of shots out really fast. But I think the single shot is better because you don't start cooling down. Or like the ability doesn't start cooling down until you hit until all of its abilities have hit. So if it only fires off one projectile, it actually does more. Like it fires more often because it's not on cooldown for as long, which I actually think is kind of neat from like a strategic perspective. Also maybe a little rough, kind of depending on how you're building yourself. Okay, defense by 9. Yeah. I don't actually know what defense does. I'm just going to take a success. Let's go with the move speed while shielded, because that was just really nice across the board. More duration? Yersh. Because yeah, having gloves of shielding giving me a big speed boost and then lasting for a while should let me sprint across the stage quickly. Okay. Oh. That's interesting. Well, we have once again become the explosive spellbook man. Yeah, hopefully there are other upgrade paths. Because the fact that this is my starting weapon and it has been pretty hard locked to one very specific outcome is a little rough. Okay, more hordes are added. I'd like to reach level 5 before I do this one, but I don't think we're gonna have enough time. Failure. At least we gather all experience on the map, which, like, is nice. Skeleton King Shield. Orbits and projects a beam of energy and inflicts magical damage. That's a new one. And just re-roll those. They're all bad. That's kind of a fun one. I might invest into it. I'll have to see what is offered for it. Okay, got lucky with that level up. Skeleton King Shield by a little bit, sure. Grab some health. Yeah, you can juke enemies because they don't do contact damage. It's based on an actual attack, which is kind of huge. Okay, throw coins in the well, chance for an enchantment. Nah, just a success. 1 of 3 upgrades. Yeah, I'll go for the knockback. It's kind of nice. Boy, there's a lot of stuff left to grab here. Okay, swiftness. Let's go myself. Uncommon, universal cooldown upgrade. I'll take it. These are all abysmal. Some health here. Oh, the boss blew up. I'm not feeling particularly strong after this one. It is a bit of a downer, but that's okay. Alright. These are... Ooh. Projectile equipment count by 1. Extremely good. And I'll just grab some max life. Max life for healing, resource of our choice, or an enchantment. I'll grab the easy, obvious one. Okay, let's just start doing a circuit. Yeah, I really, really dig the fact that this, how would I describe it? This game does something I really, really like that only a handful of Bullet Heavens do, though it's been getting better. Let's see. Armor equipment cooldown by 15%. I'd like to invest in the Skeleton King Shield, even if I think the Explosive Book is probably better. I'm just trying to... I should probably focus on things that give projectiles, though. In retrospect. I'm actually a little sad that I don't gain more, more beams. But I guess it doesn't count as a projectile, of course, so... Okay, we don't need that one. Oof, these are terrible. Beam duration by 30%. The only problem is it doesn't come off cooldown until it's done rotating, which... I wish I could invest in duration and actually have it help. So, how would I describe it? Because things don't come off cooldown until it's actually done attacking, there's no way I can get it to have like an overlap effect. Failure. Beans. I guess I'll just do crit chance. My card luck is not holding out too hard here. It's not great. And yeah, I need to go get the enchanter. Is it a pile of treasure? I need to go get that in a bit. I'm just going to try and do a circuit around first. Unfortunately, there's also, like, nobody to fight because they're not catching up to me. But maybe that's okay. I mean, truly, I've already eked out a win here, so, like... It is a little okay if I don't actually manage to win. Do interact speed. Even if it's 5%, that still helps. Especially in circumstances like this. More gold. Part of the north. Yeah, I don't have cold snap. Brace yourself. Get a success. Freeze all enemies. I'll take it. Armor equipment cooldown. Yeesh. Okay, and there's nothing else I can do with a Fae at the moment. Let's keep grabbing these. And yeah, I should very much head for these objectives. This is going to be another Doom. No, this is Black Cauldron. That's a new one. Probably pop this open. Oh. Oh, this one. It's so nice when the huge success is just on the top. Those are shielding spellbook. Auto gather experience? Yeah. That just makes my life easier. Okay, pray to be blessed. Ah. Yeah, it might be better to just go for the success rather than the random chance. Let's see, dragon armor. We haven't tried lightning crash yet. I guess it's not a projectile, though, which is a downer. Okay, decent amount of experience. We got all the treasure. Should be good. Enter the portal. Bit of defense. Beam cooldown. 4 shards. Gain an enchantment. Well, this kind of works out. It's not perfect. Should be fine. Why? Lightning crash potency. I'll take it. More hordes added. We get a light. 5 braziers. The Wisdom's Call. I don't think I have a bonus on this one. Attempt to free the horn. Success. Okay, just gather all 8 experience. So actually that one's pretty basic. You succeed no matter what, unless maybe it's like one of the really big failures. The main thing is whether or not you take damage in the process. Lightning crit chance, lasting equipment duration. We don't care too deeply for duration. Once again, if cooldown started as soon as it activates rather than as soon as it's done activating, then duration would feel better. Dark Offering. Yeah, we should be able to do Dark Offering here. Okay, beam projectile count by 1. So it is a projectile, kind of, sort of. Okay, Skeleton King shield damage by a bit? Sure. Trial of Fortitude. Should be okay. Defend yourself with the Skeleton King shield. Epic defense upgrade. Cool. Okay, this is kind of working out. It's definitely a more eclectic mix than my first winning run, where it was just like all in on Kaboom, which worked extremely well. Legendary enchantment on something. I'm gonna do Skeleton King shield. Speed by 100. Damage to frost. Speed. Okay, that's fun. It's got a reasonably short cooldown, all things considered. Let's do all cooldown. Okay. Oh, did that give me health? It did. That's nice. Okay, kablamo those guys. We get a scroll. Oh, that's probably the scroll of swiftness. Okay. Spell equipment cooldown. We can do better. Move speed. Let's boost the Skeleton King's shield. Let's just get that cooldown kind of lowish. Okay, keep boosting this. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for a success. Oh, I did actually spot the huge success, but that's fine. Bonus range. Sure. Because it's actually quite satisfying to watch. Duration by 100%. I mean, okay. It does help with my uptime. Alright, what else do we have in the area? Got a food chest and a treasure chest. Let's see, lightning crash cooldown by 35%. Other things I'd rather invest that into, but I'll still take it. It's still pretty good. Okay, and we get a shard chest. This is probably the last of the treasure. But yeah, having all of these points of interest to try and race for before the end of a run is exactly what Deep Rock Galactic Survivor does. To an extremely high degree of success, in my opinion. Yeah, we can reroll these. This is all bad, but whatever, I'll take it. Namely because I'm never just sitting around fighting monsters. Not to say that that's strictly bad in this genre. Oof. Yeah, I'm just gonna snag both of those. Do trap treasure, see what that gets me. It's fairies again. But like, I'm actively having to like race to finish grabbing every single bit of every single point of interest that I possibly can, and that feels extremely good to me because, you know, unlike a lot of other bullet heavens, which are, you know, just stand in a field, fight things until they're all dead. Here I'm racing around. Like, fighting enemies is actually a distraction from what I really want to be doing. Let's interact with this while it's empty. Because ultimately my main goal is to open as many of these chests as possible, find every single shrine and whatnot. And, like, it's odd to have, to say that, like, you know, the combat in the bullet heavens is an afterthought. It's not the main focus. What do you mean? You know, the entire goal is it's a dopamine rush. True, but that dopamine rush only holds for so long. Yeah, let's go for Cold Snap. The main question is, do we throw 2 Cold Snap? Hard to tell. No, looks like we only throw 1. I feel like multi-projectile should affect that one as well, considering how rare it is, but I guess that would maybe make it too powerful. I don't know. You know, even to the point of having the interactable bridges to lower, and kind of the waiting game of, like, managing that stuff. Now, lose health, still freeze enemies. It's a weirdly forgiving game, I'm noticing. Okay, spellbook area, sure. I'm definitely taking some serious damage here, which I should probably stop doing. Let's see. Spell equipment, area size. I don't like the fact that the skeletons explode immediately. It's actually better to trigger them without killing them, as silly as that sounds. And the shrine is there. 15 Fey, too. Ouch. Lightning crash crit damage, beam equipment duration. Beam! Problem is we need to give it, like, a lot more damage. Helpful priest. Sure. Offer half my food. Nope. Boy. This is, not working too hot for me. In terms of picking those cards. My first run I was inspired. This time around I'm not doing hot. Split. We have one more fairy. Okay. Got it down. I'm just gonna go for the success. Cold snap into 3 smaller bombs, sure. Alright, drink it. Rare max life upgrade. Lightning crash potency. I can do better than these. Alright, we're just gonna keep racing, because yeah, I can get to this no problem. I'd like to find a horn. Any kind of magnet would actually be extremely nice here. Interact speed by 10%. Go faster, please. Uncover the chest. Are you kidding me? Well, at least we get the gold. What else do we have around here? Because I think I've already interacted with every fairy. I'm level 30, so I'm not feeling like I haven't gotten enough experience here. Just want to make sure I've seen everything and done everything. Yeah, there's a shard chest, at the very least. I do appreciate that, you know, there's no strict time limit here. It's just a matter of, like, you know, killing the boss. Killing the boss ends the level. And so if I can manage to avoid killing the boss, I'm in a good state. I think I should take him out, though. What is my crit chance at this point? 30%. Yeah, some universal crit damage wouldn't be a terrible idea. Alright, let's just run through. Yeah, there's so much experience that I've just left behind. And again, level 31 doesn't, or it means I'm in a good spot. Don't need that much more. There we go. There's the portal. Let's just go through the portal. Go for some max life? Eh. Wow. Oh, damn it, there was a blessing on the side. I didn't even notice. Well. I will be okay. Whatever it was probably good. For whatever reason, I wish the blessings were shiny. You know, they had a bit of a glow to them. Because the problem is they currently look like the gray upgrades if you're not paying enough attention. And like, I obviously get slowed down a little bit. I know that's like a constant complaint that people have. Wander, slow down, but like, I don't know, I gotta go fast. Mostly just a matter of like, I see something that I think is good, and I don't give myself too much time to second guess. Just because it doesn't really seem necessary. Okay, drink it, get some healing. Let's go for the Goblin Banquet. Let's see. Redo those. Sure, lightning damage and potency. Okay, 50 food, chance for an enchantment. Less projectiles on my spell book, but I'm definitely slinging like 4 or 5 projectiles here. So clearly, I have more projectiles than I did the previous time. Let's see. Magical equipment, yersh. A lot of health. We don't need it. Just zoom through here. But yeah, I've been playing. I have the Pokemon TCG Pocket app, just as a kind of an idle amusement every 12 hours, give or take. Open a booster pack, see if it's anything good. I don't actually play the combats. Like, I don't play the game, I just collect the cards. Because there's something kind of satisfying about opening a pack in this way. I don't feel like I am compelled to pick up Magic the Gathering again. I say as I'm like ogling the new Final Fantasy sets, which I probably will pick up some, but that's probably going to be about it. But as part of it, whenever you get a special card, you know you've got a special card. And I think that's something I really wish deck builders really leaned into a little bit more. You know, so many games just have common, uncommon, rare tops. Give me like 5 different rarities. Let's like really lean into like, you found the super special card for the run. You know, here's the enchantments, you know, they stand out actually reasonably well. It just really feels like the blessings are a little bit more like mild, and so if they were like actual sparkly, or if they had a sound effect when they popped up, that would be lovely. Let's keep going for the Skeleton King's Shield. Damage to Frost, reduce the cooldown by 50%. I will be Spin Beam Man. Okay, oh yeah, I assuredly have enough for this one. Yeah, so the cooldown is so short that we pretty much stay in permanent Spin Beam mode. Throw coins in the well, 40 coins. Okay, magical equipment damage. At this point, experience gain's kind of worthless. Also, money is functionally meaningless. Because this is the final level. Looks like the Goblin King is up already. I haven't spotted him. But there's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm not terribly surprised. There's the Goblin King. Luckily, my cooldown on my... the cooldown on my Gloves of Shielding is so short that I think I can block every attack the boss throws at me. If, you know, he actually manages to hit me, which is currently not working out for him. Gather range, hold snap, sure. This is really stinking good bullet heaven. Alright, there we go. So what was the most amount of damage? Spellbook, still. Skeleton King Shield got up there. I didn't invest too much in Lightning Crash, so it wasn't actually that good. So, things I would say about this. I do wish you actually leveled up more, or... Okay. So the closest analog to this game is very overtly Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Both the running around the environment with the points of interest that you want to activate, you know, either you charge them up or you just, you know, collect them and stuff. The resource chests, pretty analogous to the mining nodes on the map. The difficulty scaling, even how the weapons work in the enchantments. The enchantments are kind of, sort of, the overclocks from Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, as are the blessings. I like how freeform this is. My big beef mostly boils down to the fact that I really only had 3 abilities that I cared about, and I had 2 junk ones that were completely worthless to me. I'd actually say this game would be better if you had less slots, or you leveled up faster so you could invest in things a little bit more generally. The other thing to say is, I think it actually could use overclocks, like guaranteed ones, where after X amount of points invested into a spell, directly into the spell. So like extra damage to Skeleton King's Shield, or crit to lightning and stuff like that. Put 3 of those in, you get a specific blessing that just changes a little bit. Just like the overclocks from Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. And then maybe it gets harder. So, oh yeah, that would be perfect. So, maybe the first one unlocking it only is like 2 or 3 upgrades, and then after that is 5, and then 7 or something like that. Like, it doesn't scale up too fast, so you eventually can just, like, regularly put upgrades into it and still get blessings. It doesn't become, unreachable. But that way, you're somewhat incentivized to spread your upgrades around a little bit more generally. So it's like, oh, well, it's going to take 7 more upgrades to get the next spellbook overclock. Overcast? Something like that. Whereas, like, it would only take 2 more upgrades, or even 1 more upgrade for Cold Snap, because it's just gotten some random ones here and there. I think that would feel a little bit better, purely from the perspective of... it felt kind of static, and it also felt like some of these extra things were wasted. Whereas, like, Deep Rock Galactic, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, you're still really only incentivized to upgrade 2-3 different guns simultaneously. However, you're pretty capable of maxing all 3 of those out in a single run, no problem. And then after that, you can keep investing, you just don't get any more overclocks. I think that's a fine system, and I think that works well. But I guess in Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, it also really does make that last gun feel kind of worthless. And so even in that game, I was like, yeah, I feel like you could cut this down by 1, and the game actually might feel a bit better. Because then you don't have these extra things bloating the pool. Because that's kind of where I am with this one. Like, for this last run, anything related to boosting Cold Snap was functionally worthless to me and not appreciated. And so either giving more upgrades so I can invest in Cold Snap, having more abilities that are, like, actually synergistic. Like, if it's one of those where, like, here's an upgrade to Spellbook, and then here's a upgrade to something that is not Spellbook, like bonus cold damage or something like that. There's a lot of ways you could do it, where you're investing in one thing, but it's helping others. And I know there's the universal, like, all equipment gets 10% damage. It's like, stuff like that's good. It's not exciting, and I want to be able to, like, really invest into and develop my spells. Because with the first run, we had just one Uber Nuke magic spell book. It would fire 1 projectile and it would just destroy anything it hit. With my last round, I had a ton of projectiles. I'm not actually sure where they all came from. And then they were also exploding for a decent chunk of damage. But then I also had a, almost 100% uptime Skeleton King's Shield that was just spinning around me eternally, and that was quite good. I will say, I don't know if the duration was really that helpful, considering my cooldown was so short. By the end of it, duration was moot, because it would just come back off cooldown instantly. That's why I usually don't invest in duration in these games. Unless, of course, you can overlap cooldowns, at which point, oh, please let me do that. Because can you imagine if you had a really long duration Skeleton King Shield, and also a really short cooldown on it? And it's one of those where, like, you're proccing it every 2 seconds, but it lasts for 4, so you actually have, like, 3 or 4 instances, or 2 to 4 instances of the spell running simultaneously. I'm not gonna do the math, I've got a migraine. Not a bad one, but still hard to do head math. Anyway, being able to run a couple of those, so sure, you don't get extra projectiles, but you are just spinning endless shields around you because your cooldown and duration are so high. I feel like that would be more satisfying. I realize that would take maybe a little bit of balance, considerations, but I think it would make certain stats like duration and cooldown feel better. I don't know. I think there's a lot of other options. I think there's a lot of things to be done. However, as far as a bullet heaven with an incredibly good pedigree, and also the awareness of other games than just Vampire Survivors, because that is one of my biggest complaints about this genre, is that so many bullet heavens feel like the developer only played one, maybe two bullet heavens. You know, they played Vampire Survivors and Brotato, or Vampire Survivors and Hades, or Vampire Survivors and Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. But so many games follow just the Vampire Survivor formula too much. And the problem is that formula, while it still works for Vampire Survivors, is getting a little stale for other games. And so to have this one really follow in the footsteps of not just Vampire Survivors and the genre as a whole, but also Hand of Fate and Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, it is able to actually deliver on and build upon those ideas quite well. I think the only real thing to consider within that is just I want to see it push the build crafting a little bit more, because it was feeling like it was getting a little lost in the weeds. Let's see. So what do we do? Because some of these are good. What is crit? Oh, potency. Potency of status-inducing equipment. So that's quite good. I think I'm going to put a point into life regen, and then gather range, and frankly, just another in life regen, because a lot of these scale kind of exponentially. So I think the first level is 2, then 5, then 9, then 15, but the price goes up as well. So eventually a lot of points into cooldown is going to make a difference. I'm trying to go for kind of the more basey things that are going to have a longer term use, because cooldown I can get upgrades during a run. Life regen, I have not seen a single upgrade that boosts that. I've only seen a handful for gather range, and luck is pretty rare. And so if we can max this out, that'll be a good day. But for now, at least, I'm going to leave it here and mention that Hordes of Fate, a Hand of Fate adventure, the demo is either available tomorrow or it's out already. Depends on when this video goes out. I gotta hear back if there's an embargo or not. But as far as upcoming bullet heavens go, I think this is one of the ones I'm most excited for. Just in terms of its core formula, its presentation, the ideas behind it, and I'm really hoping there's some level of deck building and some other stuff that can be done. I'd have to go back and play Hand of Fate, but I definitely remember stacking my deck in different ways and feeling really good about that, because this was starting to feel a little repetitive, that we were just seeing the same things over and over and over again. And so if I could actually add and remove some event cards, just like in Hand of Fate, if this could also move a little bit closer to Hand of Fate, I think that would really help this game as well. But for now, I have nothing but positive feelings about that, and I'm going to leave it there. So, I guess if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, it helps more than you know, and if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe, because I got tons to check out and show off. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, I'll see you next time.